All right. I want to start this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rekah Kodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of great millstone that learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Salutations to the elect. All right, I want to start this lesson in the book of Matthew 24:3. It says, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?" So the disciples wanted to know what will be the signs of the Lord's coming, and when will the end of this age happen. Verse 4, it says, "And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, or Hamashiach, and shall deceive many." You see, which is going on now. You have many false prophets out here, many people calling themselves the Hamashiach or Yahushua himself. And many people are being deceived, but the elect are not going to be deceived. All right, verse 6, "And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars," which we're in this time now. Hearing wars and rumors of wars about Ukraine, Iran, U.S., Israel, Russia. You see, wars and rumors of wars. It says, "See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." You see, so it's a build-up. You see, prophecy has to be fulfilled. All right, verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." You see, "And there shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places." And that's what we're seeing now, because an earthquake just happened in Venezuela a few days ago. Let's get that. Let's get this video. It says 7.1 magnitude earthquake rattles Venezuela. All right, let's play the video. So prophecy is being fulfilled.
7.1 magnitude earthquake rocking Venezuela. The 7.1 magnitude earthquake rocking Venezuela, and separate quakes reported in California and Japan. I want to show you some of the video. We are just now getting into it. These chaotic moments on the streets of Caracas, dust filling the air after the capital there in Venezuela felt that intense shaking. You see people walking around, some of them looking confused. A baseball game coming to a halt, people running for safety. You see the light fixture up there swaying, people running for safety to the center of the field. Just hours before that, we saw a 5.6 quake hitting Northern California, knocking shelves of food to the ground. We're also following a 6.9 quake in Japan with tsunami advisories in effect there. There's a lot going on, lot to watch. We've got Bill Karen standing by. But I want to start with Aaron Gilchrist joining us now, because it seems that the most significant of these is the one that just happened late today in Venezuela. Aaron, what do we know about the possibility of any injuries, about how people are doing there?
Less than an hour ago this happened, Hallie, and at this point there aren't any reports about any serious injuries or any major damage having happened here, but obviously a 7.1 magnitude earthquake is a major earthquake, and this was one that happened a little after 6 o'clock Eastern time, apparently in the northwestern part of Venezuela, so putting it very much near the coast of Venezuela, the Caribbean coast of Venezuela. There are reports that there could have been some of the shaking felt in parts of Colombia, and as you've been saying, this video that we're seeing now out of the Caracas area, which is more than 100 miles away from where we believe the epicenter of this earthquake was, and still we see the shaking. You see people who felt that shaking running into the streets, getting...
And this video happened a few days ago, but I've gotten reports that the death toll is climbing, that people were unalive during the earthquake. You see, look at this video right here. It says Venezuela earthquake death toll nears 1,000 as foreigners. Slovakia. It says Venezuela's earthquake death toll nears 1,000.
$50,000 for your car accident because.
But as you can see, People were unalive. As a matter of fact, let's play a little bit of it, Salakia. Let's play a little bit of it.
48 hours since Wednesday's devastating earthquakes, authorities are now reporting more than 900 lives lost and hundreds of others remain missing. New video today helps explain why. This is from a drone over the state of La Guaira, right along Venezuela's northern coast, about 15 miles north of Caracas and some 200 miles from the epicenter. It's a tourist town to some, home to so many others. Rescuers believe people could be buried alive under those huge piles of rubble where many tall buildings once stood. Also, since Wednesday's back-to-back quakes, experts say there have been more than 300 aftershocks. That's, of course, only complicated any search and rescue efforts. Crews...
Indeed. So prophecy is being fulfilled, you see. And this is judgment from the Lord, you see. Let's get another scripture. This is the book of, let's continue Matthew. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, you see. So we're just in the beginning stages of prophecy being fulfilled, which a lot of people are going to be destroyed. A lot of people are misery is going to come to a lot of people. You see. As a matter of fact, let's get this scripture in 2nd Esdras. This is 2nd Esdras 16, verse 18. Now this is the angel Uriel sent by the Most High talking to Ezra about what would happen in the latter times. And this is a precept to the scripture that I just read in Matthew 24. It says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. And Ezra was shown what would happen, or told what would happen in the latter times. It says, let's read verse 17. It says, this is Ezra. He said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? You see, in the latter days, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famines and great death. You see, what does this look like? Great death. You see.
Crews are calling this period the golden window. Within 48 hours, they have a greater chance of finding people alive. Tomorrow, at this same time, the chances of them being alive still dramatically plunge. On top of the desperation, there's also growing frustration. Residents are calling on anyone and everyone to help find survivors who might be trapped, and that help is on the way. That help is on the way. More than 800 rescuers are coming from around the world. The U.S. alone sending more than 300 people, but getting in for some can be difficult. Some airports in Venezuela were also badly damaged, including the very tarmacs pilots need to make a safe landing. CNN's Stefano Pozzebon starts us off with new video showing the impact of this mounting disaster.
All right, let's continue. Then I'll continue the video. Let's continue in 2nd Esdras. Let's finish reading 18, then I'll continue the video. It says, famine and great death. You see, that earthquake caused a lot of people to be unalive. It says the beginning of wars, which we see that now. You see, we're in that time. Iran and the U.S., Ukraine and Russia, Israel and Iran, and other places. And the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? You see? And these evil times are rapidly approaching because we're getting close to the return of the Lord. So prophecy is being fulfilled.
Panic on board as passengers brace through powerful tremors. Just one glimpse of the chaos unleashed after two massive earthquakes struck Venezuela. This image from the public broadcaster Telesur shows large cracks splitting the tarmac at Caracas International Airport, underscoring the damage to critical infrastructure. Tens of thousands are still reported missing.
You really need to talk to YRefi. Why?
Emergency teams are racing against time to dig through shattered concrete, listening for any sign of life. In the Caracas district of Chacao, rescuers pulled survivors from a collapsed apartment building, while others remain trapped inside.
Ya rescatamos a 3 personas.
We have rescued 3 people, and there are 3 more alive inside the structure. God willing, they will be rescued very soon.
As Venezuela struggles to cope with the scale of the disaster, international help is finally trickling in. But the logistical challenges to mobilize the aid remain. These relief convoys loaded with food and water are heading toward the hardest hit communities, as officials work to support tens of thousands of displaced families, while the priority remains to rescue survivors before time runs out. Stefano Pozzebon, CNN.
And our thanks to Stefano Pozzebon for that report. Let's bring in Nicole Cast. She's with the International Rescue Committee, or IRC, coordinating emergency efforts across the Venezuelan border in Colombia. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with the effort to just get into Venezuela. We've seen the damage to airport tarmacs and surrounding areas. How do teams work around that and get in there?
Thank you so much. Yes, it is an extreme challenge to get into Venezuela at this time because, as you've seen in these images that you just shared, the airport suffered significant damage and is not really available for humanitarian workers. So we're looking at the option of entering via other airports in other areas of the country that have been open for international flights recently and have opened additional routes, and also by land, although there are also significant challenges with that. You know, that Venezuela still has a context of significant access restraints in which humanitarian workers have difficulty often crossing by land.
Doctors are warning of chronic underfunding in Venezuela, which has left hospitals unequipped to treat this surge of patients because of long-standing problems in that country. Do you see that complicating the rescue part of these operations?
All right, I'm going to end the lesson here, and you can find videos like this on YouTube discussing the earthquake that happened in Venezuela. But yeah, as you can see, prophecies being fulfilled. Many great miseries are happening to people. You see, in these latter days, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famines and great death. Look at that. It says, as death toll nears 1,000. So, hey, prophecy is screaming loud and clear. All right, I'll end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Shalom.